Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new video for you guys and this one is hair related and I'm going to be talking all about my journey to platinum blonde hair. As you can see, my hair is quite light and I'm just going to be telling you all about how I got to this color of my hair. Just a little disclaimer, this is how I got to this color. This isn't how I recommend you going to this color if this is the color that you want. If you want this color, and I would recommend maybe going to a salon to do it because the way I did it isn't really, looked up at, like it's not really like the best way to do it, but this is how I did it and it worked for me. My hair is still in really good condition, and another thing is I am not a professional, so if you have a question for me I can try to answer it to the best of my knowledge, but if you have a question that I can't answer, just go ask a professional and they will be able to answer it for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you're interested in going blonde or platinum blonde, it can be a very scary thing and it does take sometimes a very long process to get to the color that you want. You don't just go out and dye your hair blonde and expect it to look like this when you get home. That's just not how it works. That's not how blonde hair dye works. It is a bigger process than that, and it does and can take some time. My natural hair color is a kind of a sandy, dirty blonde. I will insert a picture of it right now. And another question is, when did I start going blonde? I started dyeing my hair blonde September of 2012, so it's been a little over a year now. It's been about a year and 3 months since I've been dyeing my hair blonde and have had this hair color. What dye do I use? I actually use box dye from the store. Yes, I know a lot of people are surprised when I tell them that I got this color from box dye, and I do use the Revlon Beautiful Color Silk in the color 03, which is ultralight sun blonde. So that is the dye that I use, and that is the dye that I've been using this entire time. And another question is, what toner do I use? I don't actually use a toner. I use a purple shampoo, which I will get into in a little bit. But since I've used box dye for years, like I've been in my things I would tell my teenage self tag that you guys have already seen, I have used box dye and have had almost every single color there is to have on my hair. So I'm very somewhat experienced with box dye, and just because box dye worked for me and I've never had like a big problem with box dye, just because it worked for me doesn't mean it would work the exact same for you. So I don't want you to go out and buy box dye thinking, oh, BreeAnnBarbie said this would work, and it doesn't work and you come blame me. I'm telling you now, just because it worked for me does not mean it was going to work the exact same for you. Box dye is extremely unpredictable, and just because the color on the box says it is does not mean it's going to turn out that way on your hair. It's not professional hair dye, it's box dye that you get at a drugstore. So, it's very unpredictable, and you don't just want to go messing around with that stuff unless you know what you're doing or experienced. I have never bleached my hair before. I have never used bleach on my hair ever. The only time I've ever had anything close to bleach on my hair is when I got highlights back when I was 12 by a professional, just the bleach blonde highlights. But other than that, I've never bleached my hair to get this color at all. So when I decided to finally go blonde, I have my natural hair color and I had a few highlights in it left over from graduation. So when I went to the store, I ended up buying kind of like a light golden blonde because I didn't want to jump right into this color right away. So I kind of bought like a golden blonde color, and when I went home and tried it, it turned out the exact same color as my natural hair. So obviously I didn't want that. So I went back and I found the 03, which is this color right here that you are looking at, and I went home and I did a strand test, which a strand test is you just take like a piece of hair and you dye just that strand to see how it turns out, because since blonde box dye is a lot more scary than say like a black box dye, at least to me it is, you want to make sure that you do a strand test first just to make sure it doesn't turn your hair orange, and do it in a spot that's kind of hidden, so if it doesn't turn out good you can just hide that spot, because you wouldn't want to go home and dye your whole entire head that color and have your whole head turn out orange. So a strand test is really important if you are looking into going blonde. So I did the strand test and everything turned out okay. So I decided to do my whole head, and after the first application, this is what it looked like, and I'll insert a picture of what it looked like right now. So my first impression of the color of my hair was kind of scary. It wasn't this light yet at that point. It was lighter than my natural hair color, definitely, but it wasn't, white like it is now. It was very goldeny and very yellowy, and it was very shocking to me because I've never had that hair color before, so I was kind of put off by it for a little bit, but I figured, it was, I think it was the brassy tones that really kind of threw me off and I was kind of like worried about, but brassiness is very, very common with blonde hair. It's just something that every time you dye your hair blonde, you're going to have some type of brassy tone in it. So I just thought it was, it'll be fine, and I just left it alone. 3 weeks later, I went out and bought another box and I did my entire head again. Again, that's not really recommended. You shouldn't, if you are dyeing your hair, you should only really be doing the roots. But since it wasn't to the color that I wanted it, I decided to do my entire head again. I did that for a few months, and at this point now I only do the roots. I never dye my whole head. I only do the root area, but when I first started I did dye my entire head just so I could get the right color that I wanted it. After that, I decided to switch shampoos. I decided to go buy a keratin shampoo. I bought the Pantene Keratin Pro V shampoo and conditioner, which is really good, especially if you're a blonde. Keratin has a lot of protein in it and is really good and healthy for your hair. So I switched to that to keep my hair healthy, and then to kind of lighten my hair a little bit, just to kind of help it, get more blonde, is I went out and bought and you guys have seen this tons of times before, this is like my favorite shampoo and conditioner. I went out and bought the John Frieda Sheer Blonde, both the shampoo and conditioner, which just look like this, and this is the Go Blonder Lightening Shampoo and Conditioner. This is for all blondes, and it says it gradually lightens your hair, and it definitely does. Every time I go and get like my hair cut or trimmed, they always ask me every single time, when you dye your hair, do you do the whole head? And the answer is no, I do not do the whole head. I only do the roots, and I think the reason why they ask me that is because this like white area, it looks like it was from buildup from dye, which is not the case. It is actually from the shampoo and conditioner. It really does work. As you can see, my hair is like really, really bright. So this does do a really good job of brightening your hair. So that is what I use as like, shampoos and conditioners go. And then as of recently, I think the second to last time I got my hair cut, I was duped into buying some Biolage products. Which just look like this. It's just the Biolage Fiber Strong for my hair. I figured I would get it just because, why not keep your hair extra healthy? And I've never really owned this expensive of a shampoo before, so I got that just because at the time it was like 6 months since I got a haircut, so my hair was like extremely brittle, so I was like, oh, why not? So I went out and bought that, and those things do a really, really good job of keeping my hair like in really good healthy condition. And as far as lightening it goes, the John Frieda Sheer Blonde does a good job of that. Now to this day, I still only do the roots every 6 to 8 weeks. I never do anything less than that because I don't need it. I always wait until I have about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of regrowth before I touch up my roots. And when I do touch up my roots, I use a hair dyeing brush like the one. I don't use, I do have a video of me dyeing my hair where I use my fingers. I don't do that anymore. I actually went out and bought a actual brush, so when I do dye my hair, my hair is freshly dyed, so when I do dye my hair, I have like one of those brushes where I spread in the color. So I do use that now. I don't use anything else like that. Like I said, I use this a lot for the color, and when it comes to toning my hair, I do not use a professional toner. The thing that I have been using to get the brassiness out of my hair is the Clairol Shimmer Lights shampoo, and this is for blonde and silver hair. This is it's a color enhancing shampoo, brightens and refreshes blonde, highlighted and silver hair. I guess it's supposed to be really good for brassiness. I did do a review on this shampoo, and this is another reason why my hair is so white, is because of this shampoo. Lately, the review, I said good things, but as of recently, my hair hasn't really been, accepting to this. Like, I would put it on my roots, and it really wouldn't do much for my roots, but the shampoo would really grab onto this area of my hair and make my hair like pitch white like it is now. And then to do my roots, to get my roots the white color, I would have to do it at least like 3 times. So this is what I am using to tone my hair at the moment. I really want to get a different, better purple shampoo, because this one, for some, it worked really good the first few times, and now it just kind of turned on me. I don't know why, but it doesn't really do much for my roots. I mean, it does an okay job, but it's nothing like crazy or anything like that. So I do want to look into getting another purple shampoo, but for now this is what I'm using, and it does an okay job. As you can see, my hair is definitely white, so it does a really good job of doing that. So I like that about it. That's another reason why my hair looks so white, is because of this stuff as well, because it really does turn your hair like white. And is a really difficult thing to keep up with, because, you know, roots sometimes can get a little ugly, and you know, you do have to touch up your hair all the time, making sure that you don't have any regrowth. You know, it's just, it can be a process, and then, you know, trying to get it to the color that you want it, trying to, you know, get rid of the yellow tones, anything like that. It can be a process. So if it's something that you really, really want and are willing to do, it is going to be a process, and just kind of take your time with it. Blonde is really easy to get out of. You know, you can either go and get some lowlights, you can dye it, you know, down a color. So I mean, it's nothing that you can't get away from. It's not like black hair where you dye your hair black and it's going to take a couple years to get out of the black hair. It's nothing like that. It's really easy to get out of, but you do have to really keep up on it, and you need to do a good job of keeping up on it, because blonde hair is quite taxing on the hair, so you have to make sure that you're keeping your hair in really good condition. The way that I've been doing my hair isn't the practical way. You know, everyone just swears away from box dye, and to be perfectly honest with you, my hair is in perfect healthy condition. Every time I go and get my hair cut, you know, I always ask, you know, like, how's my hair doing? Is my hair doing okay? And they always say, yes, your hair is perfectly healthy, you're doing a good job. So, you know, it's always a good idea to make sure that you keep up with your hair. And like I said, I do go get regular trims, just because the sight of, you know, dead ends drives me insane. So I do go and get trims, and I always ask and make sure that my hair is doing okay, and it is in perfect healthy condition. So yeah, that's everything for that. Don't get discouraged if you're trying to go blonde, because like I said a million times already, it can be a process, and it will be. Don't just expect this to come out after one time. It does take a while. Like I said, it's been a year and 3 months, and I'm finally at the color I want it. I really do like my blonde hair. A lot of people, they're not really a fan of it, but I really like it. I don't plan on changing it for a while. Like, I've always wanted this color hair, and now that I have it, I plan on keeping it for a while. If I ever do change my hair, that'll be up to me and whenever I decide to do it. I don't really listen to what other people tell me to do. A lot of people tell me to go back to my natural color. A lot of people tell me to go red again, and that's not something I'm ready to do, so I plan on keeping this blonde hair for quite a while. I got to my platinum blonde hair. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informational for some of you. If any of you out there have any better purple shampoo recommendations, let me know. I don't know why this thing, or this shampoo, isn't working as well for me anymore, but I wish it did. But yeah, I'll still use this until it's gone, because this was kind of pricey. But if any of you have any other purple shampoo recommendations that would help, please let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, I hope it helped you. But until then, I will see you guys very, very soon in my next video. Bye, guys.